Death Before Dishonesty on the title track in particular, that's another one where you're talking about fighting personal battles and it seemed like we had talked about with FBI, it seemed as you went on, it was music was becoming therapeutic as opposed to purely celebratory.
That's right.
So how writing wise, when you're writing a song like Death Before Dishonesty, how did that compare to maybe writing Dope Day Nav or What's on My Mind, the first one, or Flint Town or something? How did you feel you had changed or evolved or developed as a writer?
Writing music for me has always been a mood thing. It had to be. It's where I'm at, my environment. Everything contributes to me writing a song. Like being incarcerated, that's what my mind was on. I mean, I'm in jail, so that's what I'm seeing. So that's the picture I'm painting. Kind of, it's kind of like an artist. What he's looking at is what he's painting, kind of. And that's what I was with music, man. If I was in the party and the idea came to me, then it's gonna be about bitches and drinking and kicking it. It's everything with songwriting for me was environmental. It's where I was at and what I was going through at the time. Songs I might have just got a big check and then the song gonna be partying, or that. Or I might have just lost a lot of money. Now the song gonna be robbery and taken. And so that's the kind of way it was. The music always dictated itself to me. It always wrote itself kind of for me. I didn't never have to plot a lot. We just really just went in there, and when we heard the music, oh, this beat sound like a kick in the door song, or this beat sound like a let's get high, smoke some weed song. It was one of them. The music always talked to me.
It's interesting you say that though, because as I was thinking about a lot of you guys' stuff like Smoke for Free, for instance, versus like Fantasies, it's very different ways of looking at women, for instance. So that I understand all that creatively, but were different things happening personally for you around the 1998, 99 era to where you would write a Fantasies type of song?
My everything was, man, my life has always been an adventure every day. With all through the all through the 90s, it was always something happening. Whether it was positive or negative, it was always something, And I was in the halfway house, coming out of federal prison on my way home. And a chick from Flint named Beth Bohannon, she was Lisa Left Eye's close friend. And that's who put that together for me to get with Lisa Left Eye Lopez to do the song. So once I came home, I flew out there and kicked it, man, a few days. And that's a long story, but it was some fun shit. Hanging with her, she was the most realest bitch I ever met in my life, man. As far as she was just like us. She was a hood nigga, with a pretty hood nigga. That's what she was. And
had you met any or a lot of women like that in Flint, or you had to take that
trip?
Oh yeah,
all the Flint bitches was gutter, man. Flint chicks is rough, man. But they was, I'm talking about as her with star power. That's what set her apart. She was a Tupac girl. That's what she was, man. She was rough, man. I'm talking about, I had never seen a female with that type of spirit. Let's say it that way. She had a hell of a spirit, man. She was strong, man. She treated men like most popular men treat women. So that's what I'm saying. I saw myself in her with the way she carried herself. She carried herself like, damn, she a chick doing that shit? It was like one of them. Yep. I know you want to dig on that, but yeah.
I was just gonna say, what was she doing different?
She was just moving like a man, man. She was like treating niggas like we treat bitches. She was, picking one man up at the club and leave him. And she was doing shit like that, man. She was manly, but a girl. She was doing nigga shit like a rap nigga do. Bitch, you can't smoke my weed for free type of shit. She was on that shit as a girl.
Wow.
She was raw. She was raw, man. She was a raw chick. She didn't bite her tongue. She was like us, outspoken, and that shit was different to see it coming from a girl, a pop star, You know, that
Right.
shit was different.
Hmm. Okay. And then
Yeah.
when you were in Atlanta, is that where you did the No Future song with Breed back then?
No, I did the No Future record in Flint, Michigan. I
Okay.
called Breed in Flint and did the No Future. I went out to Atlanta and shot the video though. We shot
Okay.
the video in Atlanta, and that's when we appeared in Breed movie Dollar. He was filming a Dollar movie, and we all got in that. And we had a good time out in Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay. So with No Future, when you guys, because Breed at this point at the end of the '90s had been super popular, moved to Atlanta, was doing all kinds of different stuff, working with D.O.C. and Warren G and Tupac and all kinds of things. So how did that Breed compare to if you knew him well at all back when Ain't No Future in Your Front was coming out? Like, how did you see him develop as a person and as an
Oh,
artist?
Breed, man, Breed had always been Breed, man. You know, it's kind of coming from Flint. The last thing you want to do coming from a city like Flint is to get popular and change up, or get successful and act different, because you will be destroyed, man. They'll tear your ass to pieces if you even try to do it. So most people from Flint, if you notice, even big NFL, NBA actors, singers, they all are still humble. From Terry Crews to everybody coming from Flint, it's a humbling place to make it from. And then you always got to return there. You know, you can't get on a high horse, and Breed never did, man. Breed was always down to earth. Um, Even when before we was rapping, I mean, on and had a deal, and he had a deal, he was still humble. We went to Freakniks with him. We hung out at his house in Atlanta. We did all, we was always family.
Hmm,
You know,
fair
yeah.
enough. Okay. And then with the Sideways on Death Before Dishonesty, that one had that kind of blend of religion and the streets and different things.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about the teacher said you were dumb or you weren't smart. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, one of the more powerful things to me about hardcore, gangster rap, all that stuff is that blending of society, the streets, education, religion, all that stuff. So, for you, adding all that into a song, like what extra layer or extra depth do you think that that gives it for the listener and for yourself as a writer?
I've always believed that my struggle was the struggle of millions of people. I never took myself as being the only one, or this is only happening to me. And that's how I approach music. When I do a song like Sideways, I say, I know it gotta be millions of people who teachers talk shit about them. Or I know it gotta be millions of people who use drugs. I know it gotta be millions of people that's confused about life and what to do, or making decisions and choices. So I approach it like, the more revealing I am about my problems, the more relatable I'll be to other people. I feel like I've never hid my problems, because I felt like it's so many people. I know people dealing with this shit too, like me. I mean, I know I'm not the only motherfucker that's addicted to cocaine. So so I never hid it. I never hid my problems and issues. I always just stepped out there and said, that fuck it, I'm gonna tell y'all this is what I'm feeling about it. How do you feel? I mean, do you feel like me? That's the way I always looked at it. And it was just that simple for me. I've never hid even some of my hardest issues, to deal with. I always took it to the music. I felt safe talking about my problems through music. I felt like that was a safe place where you could say anything. Like, if you put it in the song, it kind of puts a chill on it. It's like it's not that shocking, if you say it in a song rather than a conversation. I felt like it would have been harder for me to sit down with a therapist and say, I took a lot of cocaine. That would have been harder for me than to make a rap about it and do it.
Hmm. And what, looking back, given that, as a dealer and being in the streets, you would have seen what coke and even at that time weed was doing to the streets and the people. So what do you think? Why do you think you did it, or got into doing it yourself?
Well, we came up, excuse me, we came up in that Scarface glorification era, where we glorified drugs, man. A lot more than today. You know, I look at it today and be like, damn, that's all they rap about is drugs and guns and shit. And I didn't realize that we glorified the shit just as much as they did, or they doing now. You know, we it was a lifestyle for us. I mean, you know, I got introduced to cocaine at 14, 15 years old. Wow. So, you know, I was a kid, I was a baby. I didn't even really know what the fuck it was or what I was doing. I just knew it made me feel like a superhero. And that's all I knew. It helped me deal with feeling regret about anything that I was doing in the streets. It made me unsympathetic. And living a life that I was living, I had to be that way. I had to not really tie myself into feelings and caring. And that's more what it did, you know, early on. And then, you know, it was fun doing it until it started doing me. You know, after years went by, then it started doing me, and shit wasn't fun no more. You know, it wasn't fun coming down no more. Like it, you know, usually I could get high and come down and be back in the streets the same day. Now it was taking me 2-3 days to recover from this shit. So it got worse and worse and worse, you know, as time went on.
So when and how were you able to get past it?
After you see something kicking your ass long enough, man, you got to say shit. You go, you know, keep getting your ass kicked, and you just gonna say fuck it. You can't beat the motherfucker and leave it alone, you know. And that's what it was. I was so arrogant, man, that I felt like I could beat anything, you know. It fucked them up, not me, man. I got plenty of money. How the fuck you say I'm a drug addict, nigga? I got motherfucking brand new cars and houses and clothes and money, everything. I ain't losing nothing. It ain't taking nothing from me. So that's how I looked at it, you know, but it was whipping my ass mentally and physically, you know. You know, I didn't really suffer the you know, the material effects of it. I didn't, because I was associated with drug dealers, so most of the drugs I got were free. So I didn't associate, you know, drugs was just like common. That's the best way I could put it. Everywhere I went, all my friends had drugs. Everywhere I went, it was an ounce of cocaine here, an ounce of cocaine here. You know, it was just nothing to see. So for a person that was buying drugs every day, they suffered a different way than me. That's the best way I could put it.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. So once you were working and getting off it, how did you see your life change?
Well, you know, that was a battle in itself, man. Stopping using after using for so many years, it was hard to. When I finally did like stints in prison and didn't use, you know, for the years that I was away, that gave me a sense to see, kind of gave me a chance to reflect on what it truly was. I had a chance to examine my lifestyle and the strange decisions I was making and that type of thing. So the more I shed it, the fake friends and the dead weight and all that. Once I started shedding the shit off me, I could see clearer, you know. And once I began to see clearer, it made sense to me not to use drugs no more, you know. And then health, and then I'm gonna be honest, I had to hit past rock bottom. Most people hit rock bottom and quit. I had to hit rock bottom, then go under that bottom, and then I quit. It took me, I had to whoop my ass all the way till I was beat the fuck out.
What's beyond rock bottom?
Having nothing. No, coming home from prison with nothing. Zero. No clothes, no nothing, no vehicle, no nothing, zero. And having thousands of people that know me and none of them helped me. That was rock bottom for me. When I said, I felt like in my mind that I had accumulated thousands, tens of thousands of favors. That's how I felt. And then when it was time for me to call in the favors, it was zero favors there. And that was a reality check for me. It checked my ego. Like, motherfuck, all these people I've helped and given shit to and gave everything to, and now I need them, and ain't one of them And that was the wake-up call for me. That's when I knew. Go ahead.
What year was that?
This coming home from I came home in what, 98?
So
1998.
This before Death Before Dishonesty then.
Yep, this F.B.I. is rocking. And I came home, and once I came home, I came home to nothing, man. And that fucked me up. And that let me see, and not just that, that was one piece of it, but then health issues also. Once my health began to fade, and that caught up with me, everything that we do in our teens and 20s catch up with us in our 30s and 40s. That's what I tell people, man. You can party like a motherfucker in your late teens, 20s. You can do it. You can go hard, but you're gonna pay in your 30s and 40s for all that partying and that lifestyle. You're gonna pay the piper, definitely.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With F.B.I on Your MTV Back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.